and welcome. I'm Millicent Walker. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari calls for urgent and decisive actions against the rising cases of violence against children as they celebrate another Children's Day. President of Senate Dr. Bukola Saraki visits children in Benue IDP camps with a promise to ensure they go back to school soon. An LGEA Central Primary School from Kwara State emerged winners of the 10th Channels International Kids Cup after defeating Baptist Primary School from Osun State. And North Korea leader Kim Jong-un ready to go ahead with the planned meeting between him and the US President Donald Trump. We begin tonight with the celebration of the Nigerian child, a day being celebrated in various ways in different parts of the country. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, in his message gave reassuring words to the children with a promise that his administration will continue to develop policies that will guarantee their welfare at all times. The President is also calling on all stakeholders to take urgent and decisive action to stem the rising cases of violence against children. According to the President, Nigeria has been declared a pathfinding country on ending violence against children, owing to the giant strides his administration has made in protection of the rights of the Nigerian child. President Buhari also lauded all the initiatives aimed at improving the welfare of children, including the school feeding program. According to him, quote, "As a responsible government, we are committed to ensuring that children are protected from violence and exploitation against them, and that their environments are safe enough for them to pursue their educational attainment, discover their full potentials to grow into responsible citizens," end of quote. He recalled that besides efforts at ending violence against children, the campaign to end child marriage was also inaugurated in November 2016 to ensure that children are able to fully enjoy their childhood. While reaffirming his administration's commitment to the protection of children, President Buhari reminded parents and leaders at all levels of the necessity to reflect on their roles and responsibilities towards children. And staying with the Children's Day celebrations, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, says the current administration is concerned about the plight of less privileged children. Professor Osinbajo says this is the driving force of the government's social investment program. Professor Osinbajo was speaking after a service to mark the Children's Day celebration at the Presidential Villa.
I am just completely convinced that our nation's future is extremely bright because of all of the children that God has given us, the talents He's given us, the creativity He has given us. It's also a moment to reflect on the responsibility that we have as government, as adults, to ensure that we give these children the very best that we can, especially the children of those who cannot afford education, healthcare, and all of that. And that's why the commitment of our government is to that bottom of the pyramid. Those who cannot afford education, those who cannot afford healthcare. Our focus is on trying to get the very best for them. And we're going to do even more of that. We're doing a program that none has ever done before. That's our social investment program. The focus, of course, of that is on the Human Development Index, homegrown school feeding. For the first time, we're feeding 8.2 million children every day in 24 states. And that's because we're concerned about the nutrition of the children. We're concerned about the fact that children, if they're not well fed, stunt, even mentally, they become stunted. So these are the kinds of things that we think ought to be done, and we're doing them, and we have to keep it.
Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo. And the children in the internally displaced persons camp in Benue State were not left out of the celebration. The children who were visited by the President of Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, received assurances that they would soon resume school just like their counterparts in other parts of the country. The host governor, Samuel Otom, however, used the occasion to ask for more assistance in the area of security.
This is the life these people now know and have gradually settled down to. They are displaced persons at the Abagan camp for internally displaced persons, one of the 8 camps in different parts of Benue State, north-central Nigeria.
His Excellency,
They have had many guests, but this is the first time the Senate President will be here. To the Senate President, his primary concern are the children whom he has come to celebrate on the occasion of Children's Day. But while Dr. Saraki settles in, he is welcomed by worrying statistics.
Total children displaced in Benue State in the 8 camps is 80,450.
The Senate President sees this visit as timely and so assures the campus, particularly the children, of improved government attention.
The future is already where we have started in the Senate, where we have passed a bill now amending UPEC law that takes free and compulsory education right up to secondary school, which means it will be 12 years. And one of the difficulties, and I noticed when I was the governor, I'm sure the governor too was experiencing it, is this 50% funding of UPEC.
This is welcoming to the governor, who seizes the opportunity to call for help in the area of security.
We heard recently that they are ready to support Mr. President to do more funding to the security agencies, which is the right thing to be done. Without security, there can never be any meaningful development.
The celebration ends with the malnourished children getting an egg each, but with more promises that the coming days will be better.
And staying with Children's Day celebration, May the 27th date differs from country to country. The purpose behind setting aside a particular day for children, well, appears the same around the world. Our next report captures how the event is being marked across the country.
It is a colorful event in Osun State as bright-colored flags and uniforms of students from public and private schools light up this year's Children's Day celebration. It is no coincidence, as the state government says, it is symbolic of the bright future they intend to create for children. The state governor, who believes education holds the key, solicits the support of parents and guardians.
Governments will play their own role, parents must play their own, because without support of the parents, we cannot get the desired result.
At this one primary school.
And in Edo State, boys and girls from various schools take part in a march past. The occasion is also a time for the children to highlight the urgent need to ensure the protection of the Nigerian child.
Our girls are advised to move in groups wear protective underwear to schools due to the fear of possible molestation. All these are as a result of invasion into our headed to safe places. In view of the above observations, there is need to prioritize the issue of child protection.
Creating safe places for children is a focus of the occasion in Delta State. For the state governor, that can only become a reality when the applicable law is fully implemented.
Let's welcome Salvation Army.
And in River State, children are rewarded for their good performance in the march past with trophies and other prizes. The wife of the state governor then gives them a talk on being law-abiding members of their families and society. Falling on a Sunday this year, the event gave reason for attention and the welfare of children in sermons and activities in various churches at a Thanksgiving service in Enugu State, attended by the state governor. The clergy urged parents and guardians to endeavor to lay a solid foundation for the young ones.
Give our children good education. That is the best way to prepare their future and secure their future. Not by stealing and stashing away sufficient funds for them. Because not everybody has access to those funds to steal.
This is not far from the position of the Kwara State Governor, Abdulfatah Ahmed, who in a statement commemorating the day says no nation can grow beyond the quality of its children who are potential leaders and experts in various fields of human endeavors. The rights of the Nigerian child is adequately provided for in the Child Rights Act, which Nigeria adopted in 2003 at a national level. However, its efficacy lies in the enactment at state level. The Children's Day serves to stress the need for all states to pass a law and better protect children.
Staying with potential leaders of tomorrow, Dufil Prima Foods, makers of Indomie instant noodles, has commemorated this year's Children's Day celebration in grand style, hosting hundreds of children in Lagos and select states across the country. The event, held under the auspices of its fan club, saw children engage in dance and quiz competitions aimed at stimulating their intellectual capacity. When an event is centered around children, it's expected to be successful. And the notion of this is what has spurred the organizers of this function at the Apapa Amusement Park in Lagos State. It's the annual Children's Day celebration, and Dufil Prima Foods PLC, makers of Indomie noodles, are pulling out all the stops to thrill the children. The special guest is the wife of the governor of Lagos State, Mrs. Bolanle Ambode. After the event commences, it's fun all the way, with children showcasing their talents. Commending the management of Dufil Prima Foods, the First Lady of Lagos State gives words of advice to the young ones.
Beautiful ones, remember that you must grow up to become good citizens of our great country. You must always obey your parents and teachers, respect the elders, be humble, and read your books every time.
For the Chief Operating Officer of Dufil Prima Foods, the synergy with the children makes it all worthwhile.
Indomie exists because of children. We are a brand for the children. And this is, I think, one of the best ways that we feel we can celebrate the Nigerian child. Children's Day is an event that we have owned ever since we've come into existence.
For other officials present, the occasion is a testament of the company's commitment to promoting perhaps their most important clientele.
You can see that everything around the premises is just about the Indomitables. Even in the art and craft section, you see the children who are practically drawing their favorite character.
Despite the fact that we encourage them to keep playing around, we also want to take them through that academic aspect of it while enjoying being here.
Children are sources of joy, and Dufil Prima Foods has tapped into this to make Children's Day a date to always look forward to. Children of St. George's Nursery and Primary Schools for boys and girls have been presented with school bags and books courtesy MTN Nigeria. The Chief Executive Officer of the telecom giant, Ferdy Mulman, who led the team, says the gesture is in the spirit of good neighborliness as the children celebrate their day.
It's assembly time at St. George's Nursery and Primary School in Ikoyi, and the children are getting set for the usual day's activities. They're obviously unaware that some visitors are around the corner to make their day even more exciting. It's Children's Day celebration, and in the spirit of good neighborliness, MTN Nigeria pays a visit to the school.
So because of Children's Day on Monday, we decided to come down from our big office and come and see you, and we've got bags like this for all of you, okay? So it's a small little gift. And in the bag, I think there's also something to eat, and I think there's a book in the bag. But we're very proud of you, and you must enjoy your day, and thank you very much for spending that little bit of time with us.
Yellow children, can I quickly ask one or two of you what you would like to be in future? You.
I want to be a doctor.
A doctor. Give a round of applause. I want a boy.
I want to be a pilot.
A pilot. Give him a round of applause. But what do you need to do to be that thing that you want to be? To study hard. To study hard.
The telecom giant ensures every child here gets a school bag. With the distribution done, the visitors and the pupils take time out for some selfies.
I feel happy. I'm really happy to see that they came to our school. And also, I would like to express my great gratitude to all the staffs.
The appeal is that this is sustained and extended to other schools.
This is laudable. This is good.
Happy children make a happy society. And MTN has by this gesture shown that it is in tune with happenings in its neighborhood.
In part 2, after the break, we continue our review of the 3 years administration of President Buhari, and our focus tonight is on energy. Please stay with us.